morning, Frank.
Good morning, Neil.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you very much for coming down. Come and see us.
Yeah,
Carl.
Dan.
Very good.
Yeah, it's a further podcast in our series, and today we're with Frank Andrews, Sales Director for Golz UK.
Golz UK, that part of it.
Yeah, and we're accompanied with Carl Bartlett, Director of Certification Services from the Hire Association, and myself, Neil Bravery, Commercial Director of the HAE EHA. So that's the first bit off the list done, Frank.
We've ticked that.
That's the introduction.
We've gone past the hard
That's
bit.
the introductions.
What's
done.
your name? Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in Northfleet. We've come a long way.
Sunny Kent. Yeah, sunny North Kent. Really nice area. Connections for us. It's a great location for Golz UK.
Yeah.
So we can service London pretty quickly. You're in that southeast area. We're south of the river. So obviously we've got the Dartford crossing to contend with, but we're well versed at that. We cover UK successfully from here. We've got reps based in the Midlands, Coventry, and
as you mentioned, you've got the facility outside, secure facility for people collecting goods from you.
It's ideal. We're just off the A2, as you say, Carl.
Yeah.
So basically, people come straight off one junction off the A2, and we've got 24-hour collections then. And it's amazing how much that's changed these days.
Yeah.
People aren't 9 to 5 so much in construction and collection. So we've got that facility now where we can give people a lockbox for even big drills and big blades, and we give them a code, and they can come and collect those.
Carl and I came down last night, and we stayed in Enfield, and we thought we'd have a nice, easy journey from Enfield to here this morning. Obviously, most people know that. I'm originally from the southeast. I just look at how bad the M25 can be.
It's not improved.
It kindles this morning. But the good thing for Carl, you've first time across the Dartford River Bridge.
Yeah, first time across the bridge. Yeah,
It's first time south of the river.
yeah. It's normally London bridges.
So you came over, when you go back, you'll go under.
Go under the Dartford Tunnel. Yeah.
There we go. Pay both ways to me. Just to pay both ways.
I think it's a return journey.
Journey,
All our vehicles are automated,
Yeah.
so
I must forget to do that.
I've lost the thread on that one. Yeah.
So we met in Balmer, and when we were driving down yesterday, I was trying to remember, because Balmer's every other year, isn't it?
It is.
And I'm trying to think, it was probably...
Is it 2021?
Could have been.
I might have got my years wrong. I don't know if it was post-COVID. I think there was a Balmer in 2019 that I didn't attend.
Must be 21 there.
It must have been 21.
Must be 21, because obviously I stumbled across your very large stand thinking, why have I never heard of you before? I think that's how the conversation
That was how this conversation started. And I said, well, hopefully I can change that. Hopefully over the next few years, we can get a bit more aware. Balmer's very, very important to Golz Group. We're one of the very first companies to show there, which is why we're in Hall A1. Always got that big pitch in that corner, picked by the company because it's a big crossroads there. So we'll be there year after year. But exactly as you say, why had you not heard of Golz in UK?
Yeah.
We're very specialist here. So we've been here since 1987, within a few miles of this location now. So we've been here in Springhead Industrial Enterprise Park for, I think, about 14 years now. And prior to that, they were at close to Ebbsfleet, just up the road. We did the specialist stuff. So we did, as you've seen, we do the bread and butter stuff that's very helpful for rental companies, but we also have a whole side to our business, which is specialist, innovative product. And we focused on that really in the UK. So we were really well known with diamond drilling firms, concrete sawing firms, really well known for our big drill motors for projects. And we did wire saws at the time. And we've developed some of the best high frequency cutting equipment on the market, very beautifully built 11 kilowatt high frequency kits.
We'll come on to the kit, because the kit's quite interesting. We've had a good tour today, which we'll share with our listeners. So your career journey, Frank, let's dig a little bit deeper into that and just work out how you became sort of sales director of Golz. I did a bit of research before we've been down here today. I could see you worked at ProPoint and ADAX. You've certainly been involved in this industry for a very long time. Just give us a little bit of a potted history of where it all started for you.
I think you sort of fall into construction sales, but I did it quite early on. So I was 18 or 19, and I began in a timber yard, sheet materials, all that sort of thing. Worked on the hardware section, so I learned all the hinges and ironmonger and all of that sort of stuff in my teens. Then I was running the sort of timber yard quite young, sort of 2021, And I was taken on by a power tool company, power tool fixings company, which is an independent company, Power Tools and Fixings Direct. They're sadly gone now, but at the time they had 5 branches across the southeast, and that was fantastic education for me because I was sent away to Makita and to Metabo and to Bosch and to companies like that, and really learned the workings of a machine, how the armatures work, everything like that. So we were an independent, non-aligned company, so we could genuinely, when people came to the showroom for advice, technical advice, we could say, the best woodworking router is this one. The best cordless view is this one. So we didn't have a dog in the fight, if you like. So I could give genuine technical help then. So that was good. Nuts, bolts, fixings. When I did all my chemical, putting in chemical testing and learn all of that. Enjoyed that a lot. Enjoyed the cut and thrust of construction. Happy getting up in the morning early, finding solutions for customers, building relationships is what I like to do. More of the technical side of sales than the selling. That lent itself to a company taking me on in Diamond. So I was taken on by a company called ProPoint. It was an independent company based in Lancing. Great company to work for. Got a great education there. They were an offshoot essentially of the last company that were really manufacturing diamond in the UK, which is a company called Asahi Diamond based in Crawley. So people like Mark Wilson and Paul Hayward, Tim Johnson, who ran ProPoint, had worked in their sales side, gave me a great knowledge in that. And what I did at ProPoint was a mix of straight selling and product development. We were allowed to develop product for customers. So
it's primarily diamonds we're talking about.
Primarily diamonds. So once I was about 27, 46 now. So I moved across into diamonds. So everything from dry cut stuff that you'll see cutting up the roads to really big project stuff, 2 meter diameter blades running on diesel floor saws, developing diamonds. And to this day, I'm still on special projects, which I love. Doing one at the moment on micro trenching. I really like getting involved in that. Stretches the brain a little bit. But yeah, that's what's pulled me in. So essentially, how I got into construction and diamond sales is really just sort of working my way through, from pushing a broom in a yard in a timber yard to being able to go and sit and look at major projects.
It was very interesting. The blade you showed us earlier with the thick segments for cutting channels in for cables and the likes and utilities guys. So again, the development of something like that is something that we haven't come across particularly before. So
this is the sort of thing. So as you say, why had you not heard of Golz? If you were in specialist diamond, specialist solutions, you would 100% have heard of Golz. They want us now to move into a broader market because we make so many table saws and things like that that are applicable to the rental hire market, that you can bring those innovative principles and the quality, the build quality, you could bring it into rental. It doesn't have to be made of bean tins. It can be.
I think that's it. You're coming from a specialist angle, whereas we're tool hire guys.
But there's a marriage in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely,
definitely.
So you're now sales director. So you're looking after the whole of the UK?
Look after UK and Ireland, ostensibly. We've got a couple of very good dealers in Ireland that cover that nicely for us. Good relationships with those guys. We've got Akira Diamond in Dublin. They're an independent, are very, very, very savvy. They know their product and they're very discerning. And we got a company in Belfast that do quite a lot of bits and pieces for us called Pavers Cave. And what they do is they'll distribute and look after our table and bench saws. So that's kind of what we're creeping into the market on. What we've done as we've approached the market, of course, there's a lot of brands out there people are very familiar with. One of the first things we had big success with was say, look, well, what if we build a table saw like this? What if we build a really high quality table saw like this? And then put it into these markets. So they look after that region, but I look after predominantly UK, of course, because geographically is where I'm based. We've got 4 external sales people that cover these and we're technical sales guys. So we're not pushy sales guys. We're, what's your application? What do you need? This is how the machine works. We do a lot of tool familiarization with people. And when we implement machinery into a hire company, we'll spend time with their service guys, we'll spend time with their sales guys, we'll spend time with this to make sure it's properly integrated. So I look after 4 guys out on the road, out in the vans doing their thing.
And team here?
Team here, we've got, so where ProPoint was based in Sussex, in Lancing, where I'm from Burgess Hill, just north of Brighton. most of that team stayed with us. So Chantel joined ProPoint as a 19-year-old. I think I don't want to get her age wrong. She's marginally young. She's marginally older than that now. So I think she was with ProPoint for 5 or 6 years, and she's been about 7 or 8 years with Golz. We keep people. We don't have a high churn of people because of the nature of how we do business. You've got to have a good product knowledge. You've got to understand what you're supplying.
Yeah.
Louise is based in Hertfordshire. So all these guys were in an office in Lancing. Now they've spread to the four winds, but they've stayed as Golz employees. So they work in a remote office. Physically here in the office, we've got Amanda, we've got Becky. Laura's just gone on maternity leave, but we normally have Laura. We've got Lee. So there's plenty of people on the phone that can help with inbound sales. And again, we look for not pushy salespeople. We look for customer service support, really.
I mean, I picked that up downstairs.
Yeah.
You know, the guys who were showing us the water recycling unit.
Yeah.
And they're passionate about what they do.
We like what we do.
And I think that shines through, because if you're going to sell something, you've got to believe in your product, and you sell it by the belief in the product and being able to extend that to your audience, if you like.
You've got to be interested. People can certainly. One thing I would say from construction sales and for the last few years dealing with the rental companies is, what so to be in good stead is, you don't need to pretend you know something. It's fine to ask and say, I don't know that, but I'll find out. And that's something I make sure that the team do regularly. Take an interest. If you don't know, don't flannel it. Just say, I don't know the answer to that, but I'm going to find out and come back to you, with the key thing being doing that. But all the guys are hyper engaged. I mean, Tom, who you met down there as the workshop manager, he's been with us since he left school, and he's in his mid-30s now.
That's impressive,
Mustafa's just joined us in November, but hopefully he's here for a similar time. Martin Batt is the local area external salesman, 25 years now with the company. Tim Dodd is based in Coventry. I think this is year 15. So we close-knit team, knowledgeable team. All engaged with the products, exactly as you say. If you start talking to any of us about diamond blades, drills, or machinery, you are, I'm sorry, put up a pew.
What I liked about this facility, obviously for our viewers and listeners, it's a manufacturing facility, it's a storage facility for your kit, but you've got train cars downstairs.
You get walk-ins, lots of walk-ins because of the location I mentioned earlier on the A2. So you've got people coming in from London, people coming in from Kent, people coming in from Sussex. It's a good spot. We're just outside London, close enough into it, if you catch it right, but far enough out so that people can come in easily and stop in and grab. And we're quite a good route into London. So as you come off the A2, you come into Golz, you can collect your kit, drop something off, pick something up. So we get a lot of people coming in and out. Plus, it's a chance for us to put some showroom together. So if people want to come and see us, what does your sable saw look like? How do the legs fold out? What's the block? It's all here. It's all laid out, so you can come and have a look at it. We've got a small demo area up there. We do our testing. So if we're developing anything, of course, we test it in-house. It'll pass several tests in Germany before it comes to here. Then it'll be tested here. We refine it, and then it'll go out for third stage testing in the field. So we've got that facility to do that here, but it also means if you want to come in and say, well, what does that saw do? Well, we'll fire it up, shall we? It gives you that ability to turn around and say that. It's rather than shopping from a catalogue, and it's very difficult these days to see a showroom for anything now with the way people buy things online. So if you want to come down and see 6 different table saws and which one suits your van, come down and have a look.
I just wasn't expecting. I expected to see a huge unit you've got here, but I just wasn't expecting to see that customer facing.
It's like a hire depot, really, isn't it?
In many ways. So it's not transactional really. People are sort of picking up orders that are account customers, or quite often plant hire companies we'll get an urgent call. I need a floor saw for tomorrow. Can we pick it up? No problem. Up go the shutters. The guys will have it run up and ready for you as you arrive. Likewise with the table saws. If they've got customers that are in a real mad tear and need a part, often a rental company will send them in and say, such and such is going to come in and pick up. So it's more of a collection bay, this, that, and the other. Not so many members of the public will walk in. Would you get it? Somebody wants to walk in and order a 115mm blade for a cat flap, we'll sell it to them. Of course, as we always say to them, your best port of call for buying Golz products is our dealers, because they can give you a deal, and I have to sell it RRP. So our dealers are protected in that way. But people will, there's a convenience.
Okay. So Frank, if you roll back 20 years, what would surprise your younger self to where you are now? Because obviously you've been in this industry a long time.
I think Still in it. That might surprise me, because you never know. I think if I roll back 20 years, I think, 25, 26. I knew very early on with construction sales that it was for me. I like the relationships with customers. I like problem solving, and I've got customers.
Very recent story about problem solving.
Yeah, it's if you give me a challenge like that, that's it keeps the brain cells going, doesn't it? I wouldn't necessarily be surprised that I'm still in the industry. I'd probably be surprised that I'm looking after a team, because I was always very much a lone salesman, out and about, given lots of free range to cover the whole of UK, go off in the car and go and see what you can come back with. And I always enjoyed that. Yeah. I enjoy looking after a team. And I'm very lucky that I've got a team that I've worked with for a long time by and large. Yeah. We want to know and understand each other very well. And I think when you've got a team like that, you do fill each other's gaps in, if that makes sense.
Yes. It is, yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. And you get to a certain point. I'm very lucky with the people I work with. You get almost a bit of a shorthand with people. You don't have to complete a sentence. I know you need that, X, Y, Z. But that would probably what surprised me is that rather than being a lone salesman feeding back into the office, that I'm more of a hub in the office. But I enjoy it. And I think to progress in any career, eventually you will have a team.
Of course, yeah.
So, Golz, I've made a note here. 1946, Germany is what I've written.
I don't know what they did before. I don't know. I haven't checked the calendar. So in 1946 in Hellentown, which is a beautiful part of Germany, by the way. It's in the Eifel region. So the original location was still there. Okay. So
is there a list?
There was a Mr. Golz. It was a Golz family owned until 2013. Okay. So Mr. Golz and his son took over from him. So there was an original, the reason we're orange, as we touched on earlier, really is the Mr. Golz and Andreas Still, Mr. Still, went to university together. Yeah. So they knew each other. And certainly for that part of Southwest Germany, Golz began as still dealers, still agents. Hence, we still carry the orange to this day.
Is it the same orange? It looks pretty similar.
It's around 2004. I don't know exactly. I've never
close.
I mean, I think it's in the ballpark. I suspect it's exactly the same.
Yeah, I don't think it's exactly the same.
But that was a tie-in, and there were two family companies. So Still is still to this day a family-run company, family-owned company. Yeah. So there was a cooperation and a friendliness and a warmth between the families. We're very lucky that we have, as the managing director in Germany, Mr. Bernd Schmitz. He's followed the Golz pattern that you'll see. Bernd joined the company, I think he's a 17-year-old engineering trainee, all the way through sales director, managing director. So he's always spoken very warmly of the Golz family. As lovely people. Yeah. And he's always been very pleased that we could have that relationship with Still, because Still a very close shop, but he's got a lot of time for them, and we're given more access than the other companies might be. Hence there's some collaboration on various machines, some of our petrol drilling motors, the remote drilling motors that are still widely sold to this day, and big infrastructure companies are still buying them as you speak, but that was developed in the 50s between the two companies. Yeah. Golz gearbox, Golz foot plates, Still petrol engines, two-stroke petrol engines. That's now progressed to this year. We now have Still's battery motors with battery supplies with Golz bodies. So they've been released now and they're doing extremely well. Yeah. So we're going emission-free on the battery stuff. So as we've touched on already, we're always looking at the next innovation, always looking at the next thing. And for us, it's battery, sustainable batteries. And so that's a collaboration with Still. Not many companies get that sort of level of cooperation.
There's been an understanding from many, many years ago. You said they're at university together, and that friendship has grown.
I think
gone through the generations.
I can't say how close the companies are alongside us, but we're certainly close enough that we're given access. And my understanding of it is that it's unusual for when the Still engineers see the Golz guys turn up. It's unusual that they'd be there for another company. Mm-hmm. But certainly there's a cooperation based on the history.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned Ireland, but clearly it's a global business.
Absolutely. So Golz Group worldwide. We have Golz France is a big beast. Lots of salespeople covering the whole of France. Run extremely well. Olivier, the managing director over there, does a fantastic job controlling his team. I don't know how on earth I'd be able to look after 10, 11 sales reps, I think. seems like a lot. They do extremely well over there, and they are still 95% of their business is direct into the rental market. So they deal with big companies like Loxam and companies like this. They're preferred supply. Yeah. So where they've had that 80 years of working, being known, that's how their business model is. So in France, Germany, Central Europe, we're very well known in rental and hire.
Yeah.
So Golz France is based in Alsace, beautiful part of France. And then across to Golz Germany, of course, the main company based in Hellenthal. So that's about 12 kilometers from the Belgian border, about an hour south of Cologne. It's in the Eifel region, which is like a national park. Mm-hmm. So it's not unusual to see deer wandering across the car park during a board meeting. Then you've got, of course, Salzburg, Golz Austria. Klaus Schlor runs that very well. That looks after Eastern Europe as well as Austria. You've got Benelux. We've got Lynn Luting runs essentially Golz Benelux. In the States, it's a subsidiary company, so they focus primarily on the diamond there. So they focus primarily on the diamond blades and core drills, right. And are building the machinery up. Mm-hmm. Then there's subsidiary companies again in Australia and places like this. But we've got dealers all over the world. So some territories, of course, are controlled by master dealers, if you like. Mm-hmm. So Torsten Waldschmidt is the sales manager in Germany. Looks after the German region. You've got Markus Schmitz, who's the son of Bernd Schmitz. He looks after export as well. So if you're in Doha or if you're in Oslo, it'll be Markus that you talk to. So yeah, we've got a good coverage.
Yeah, very good.
So in 2013 was a bit of a shift. Obviously, Zent Group came in.
Zent Group came in. A little bit before my time. So I joined Golz in 2018, but I've been given all the backstory and what Zent Group taking the company on was fantastic for the group. It enabled us to move to the next level. Yep. So again, in Germany, very specialist, known for specialist solutions, but very big on the petrol rigs and things like that, and the drill motors, really well known, so an excellent reputation. So Zent Group put finance in and allowed us to grow. So what we'd seen is competitors like Husqvarna and Hilti building their own purpose-built factories in China. It enables us to do that, which you need to do. It's key that if you are going to produce at a competitive level, you need your own factories, not third party. Yeah. You need to be able to work with those guys. And my colleagues in China are exactly that. They're colleagues. There's lots of cross collaboration and a focus on developing for individual markets and making to the best standard. Yeah. So that enables us to do that there. We still have some production in Germany, of course. We have a small amount of production in France in terms of some of the diamond blade labeling and things like that. But Zent Group really enabled the company to grow, really, to be able to produce at a scale to move in. And how that's shown itself is now we're the number one for table saws in Germany, France now, in Central Europe. For our MS400, our masonry chop saw 400mm blade, that's the number one. We in the UK are firmly on the path to, we think, taking the porcelain cutting market for a high quality solution. Of course, we feel we make the best machine, but feedback from the market is that we make an extremely good machine in that one. So slowly, it gives us that chance to develop volume product to the world market.
Yeah. I mean, what I've realised today, Frank, obviously, that you're originally in Balmer, you now display these equity hydro every year. You've got a nice stand opposite ours.
We tried to look
a lot bigger than ours.
We tried to look smart. Yeah.
But you are predominantly a diamond manufacturer, aren't you?
I'm certain, and there aren't as many diamond manufacturers as you'd think, because of course there's a lot of sub-label stuff that happens and things like this. So touching back onto the specialist products that we did in the past, we would develop, very high specification diamond drills and diamond blades and things like this. And
something you've got here today.
Exactly that. And we take those fundamentals from what we would call the heavy user, the professional drilling and sawing guys, the guys that are only drilling and sawing day in, day out. They know Golz. We take those fundamentals from a 800mm meter diamond blade and we put them into the handheld stuff. Yeah. And we make sure we put it into a price point which is extremely competitive because we're a manufacturer. You've cut out several people along the path. You can talk to us about specification. You can get advice from the technical sales team. But the key is the fundamentals from heavy user, the guys that rely on those bits and need them to be at the top end. We build the stuff for the rental market, for the general market, exactly the same way. Yeah. So you saw downstairs, you saw Warren hand brazing diamond segments.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Skilled operators.
It isn't really easy. Clearly it's not.
It's a real skill, and and you've got to pick it up. You can or you can't is often what we say in the industry. You can't force it, but you've got to give people time to learn that skill. And the reason that we do it like that is we do both ways. So you can produce a diamond drill, for instance, laser welded or hand brazed. Yeah. Hand brazing is the highest quality possible because you get a lot more lateral movement on the segment. If it's going to get caught, you don't lose teeth. With laser welding, it's very strong, but it can sometimes be brittle if it's knocked and dropped. So we do both. So, but most of the heavy users will request hand brazed. We make them for the general market and the rental market as well. But it also means that you can call us up and you can say, I need it to be 800 millimeters long. I need it to be 1 meter long, up to 4 meters. We can make any size, diameter, length. And we make it downstairs. There's Warren on there today. Tom is a skilled manufacturer of the cores as well. So there's between 2 or 3 tippers most of the time available. We produce 500 to 600 cores here a week. And we sell more than that with the laser welded ones as well. Yeah. So we can do the specialist, we can put the different back ends on, the different fittings on, we can do all of that, or we can just give you your bread and butter stuff straight off the shelf.
So for the tool hire market, there's for our members a small tool hire market, the independents, as well as the nationals. They're going to be going for this kind of stuff here
They would take this sort of thing. I mean, what's becoming prevalent now is that the heavy user market, which is diamond drilling and soaring, it's the best way to put it really is that was the domain for all drilling. So if you needed 4-inch holes put into a concrete wall anywhere, you would call a drilling contractor. What we've seen over the last 10 years is a shift to construction companies, small one-man bands or whatever, taking on a drill rig themselves and doing the job themselves. Yeah. So we can build to both. So what you'll find, I think, in the rental markets now is you'll get more demand for professional type core drills. So your 450mm long ones, because you can water suppress them or you can dust extract them. With silica being such a prevalent issue, the traditional 6-inch long slotted cores will go the way of the dodo because they spit silica everywhere. That's what you'll see online. That's what you'll see on eBay. That's what you'll see in Screwfix, etc., etc. One person wants to domestically put a cat flap in or put an extraction in. Yeah. That's what they'll gravitate to. It's not best practice because of the silica exposure, etc., etc. They tend to be built for people put them onto an SDS machine or a 3-jaw chuck machine. Yeah. These machines don't have adequate clutches. Yeah. And those machines really, even the bigger ones, the 9-kilo ones, they're really only rated up to 92mm for coring, really. So for people that want to put 5-inch ducts in or anything like that, you need something with a good clutch, good motor in it, and it needs to extract the dust through the middle, or it needs to put the water through, depending on what people want to do. Hence, you'll now get drill bits which are solid body, fluted on the outside so it can withdraw the dust as it's going in there, and you can extract through the top and the middle. That's the way the market should go in terms of safety for, if you're hiring out equipment to people, I would say to any rental company, it's time to move away from the slotted barrels now. At least go for a solid barrel, and really think about how long those machines are going to last and what your customer's safety element is. Yeah. So on our core drills are, for instance, a handheld core drill motor. There's quite a few of the Juicer network they've gone very well with. Some steel bodied. Lights to show the operator if he's pushing too hard or not hard enough. But the most important thing is it's got an electric clutch in it with a max amp, and it's got a mechanical safety clutch in it as well. So your operator's not going to get that jarring. Yeah, so there's to take those elements from professional drilling and to put them into general rental market. Yeah, it's easy for us. Yeah. It's the way the market should go. Your machines last a lot longer. Your customer's completely safe. And they're a lot easier to use, and you've not got dust or anything spitting around there. So I do think rental companies will have more demand over the next few years for drill motors on rigs, freehand, and core drills like this. But what people, when they talk to Golz, and I saw your face change a little bit when I mentioned the price of some of the machinery. We are building a brand, so we build very high quality, but we come in at an extremely competitive price point because. As you grow into a market, I can't say, that machine you're using, would you like to pay 40% more for my one and try it? Why don't we give you a really fantastic piece of equipment, extremely low price, get you using our equipment, get you familiar with us, and then it becomes an economy of scale. You know, we're not looking to creep up the pricing, but it's the same on the diamonds. People look at a drill bit like this. This is 4-inch core, professionally made, 450 millimeters. That will do 10, 12 meters of drilling, no problem, at a high rate, can be dust extracted or water fed, as we were saying. That's coming into a dealer sub £35. So that is very impressive for people, because that's what we pay as screw fix for something like that. And we just want to show people you can do better in your hire fleets.
So on the flip side, diamonds, you've got that kind of email, haven't you, really? The diamond side.
Diamond we do, yeah. And from 2 meter down to 115 millimeter, we've got a good handle. Yeah.
But we've seen some really interesting kit today, haven't we, downstairs, Carl? There's not diamonds.
Yeah, there's something that took my eye at the executive hire show. Obviously, your stand was adjoining ours just about. And one of the things that really took my eye was the BattPak.
Yeah.
And one of the things that surprised me about the BattPak is its IP rating, which is IP 67, which is a very high water ingress rating. And also, it was the fact that you've adopted nickel, manganese, cobalt technology, which is solid state, as opposed to lithium ion. So I'm curious to the reasons behind you adopting nickel manganese as opposed to lithium ion, and how did this come about?
Well, the group president is a bit of a brainchild of his and a bit of a baby of his. So this was shown to us in a marketing meeting, I think about 3 or 4 years ago. This is a direction we're going to go and have a look at. The Golz BattPak range, the battery division, has grown legs, as you can imagine, because it crosses so many different industries. So Bernd Schmitz, who I mentioned earlier, the MD, he's at retirement age, but we're not letting him go. So he's now just focused on the battery side. So he's reduced his days, and he does 3 days just focusing on the battery packs for exactly the same reason. It's an eye-catching product and it needs that level of attention. Yeah. But the reason we pick those cell types is because as battery cell development moves on, we always want to be at the top. We always want to be at the next stuff. And certainly with nickel, manganese, cobalt, it's got so many fantastic properties for portable batteries. It can take a charge faster, high density cells, it lasts longer, slower discharge in it, but most important for transportation. So if you guys are going to be putting them in vans and trucks and lorries, because it's a solid state battery, it doesn't have that liquid in there, which is what can cause concern for dangerous goods and things like that. It quite simply means that you've got the best possible type of battery cell. So nickel, manganese, cobalt, as I'm sure you know, is what they're using in the top end cars, the cars that are coming out, not this year, but over the next 2 or 3 years, they're going to be building more and more solid state batteries into cars. They'll give you a 10,000 mile range and all this sort of thing. So really, that's why we've moved to that.
Right. So this is, also I'm not an expert on battery technology, this is more your bang, or both of yours really. So this is trying to cut down on lithium fires that we're seeing in the industry.
Yeah, lithium-ion battery fires are caused usually by damage because the separator gets damaged.
They pierce the cells.
And does he get a thermal runaway?
Yeah. Well, there's electrolyte, which is part of the cell itself, and which is quite flammable. And lithium-ion chemistry is susceptible to thermal runaway if it gets damaged, and that separator gets damaged, and you get the anode and the cathode coming together, which causes that significant, quick acceleration of
thermal runaway. Exactly.
Thermal runaway. Yeah.
It happens very quick and it can go fast. We make another type of battery cell, which is lithium iron phosphate. Yeah. So the lithium iron phosphate with the contact material phosphate, that is multiple times safer than just a lithium ion battery.
Right.
Yeah. Nickel, manganese, cobalt is the next level. Yeah. So it's in terms of safety, in terms of density of the fuel, the cells, and how we put them in there. We've got several patented things on our battery generators, on our BattPaks. Certainly on the latest iteration, the 25 kilo one you saw, the BattPak 3621 downstairs. It's got some really nice features in it. I showed you guys downstairs the diamond blades with auto array, mechanically placed diamond grit. It's a very similar system with the battery cells in pouches. It means that we can put far more cells into the pouches that are placed into the BattPak itself. That's one thing. We've also got cooling, and we've got we have a inverter which is monitoring internal temperatures, external temperatures, and things like that to make sure everything's safe. But ultimately, with the NMC, nickel, manganese, cobalt battery cells, they're as safe as you're going to get, because you can't pierce them and have that, and they don't suffer from thermal runaway, as you were touching on there earlier.
Okay.
The inverter and those cells together enable us to do fast charging in as well.
Yeah.
So they accept fast charging very well. So we can put multiple charging options on these battery packs, because we're aware that if you've got a portable battery, you haven't always got mains power to charge it from, but you will have type 2 EV charge points up and down the country. So I know that Vauxhall and Tesco's and various people have been teaming up for the last 2 or 3 years, covering the place with type 2 car charging ports everywhere. And I know from talking with big infrastructure companies, there's a lot of work going on for cable upgrading, so we can have even more of them. So you can have type 2 chargers pretty much anywhere, and you can charge our BattPaks from those very fast.
But you also showed us the large solar panel.
Yes.
Just a really foldable solar panel.
So it folds, it's, I think it's, what's the footprint? About 1.2 meters by about 900.
Yeah.
Concertina's into a bag.
Yeah.
Opens right up to about, I think it's about 4 meters by about 1.2.
Yeah.
That's a 400 watt panel. Don't want to say indestructible, nothing's indestructible, but it's pierce resistant and it's site ready. It's robust. We can put up to 12 of those with our BattPaks for lots of solar charging. You wouldn't necessarily do that on a portable unit, but one of those battery, one of the solar panels that you saw out there, that'll give you 400 watts. They'll either slow down your discharge or it'll top up your battery. You know, so you can be anywhere really these days and be charging up a battery. We've gone past the point of like, oh, okay, I've got to take that all the way back home. I'm gonna have to charge it overnight, this, that, and the other. You can charge an MMC battery in under an hour from mains. You could charge it in 30 minutes from a Type 2 car charger. And with British Summer, you can charge it in 6 to 8 months. No, but joking apart, you can. I charged 50% on the battery with 2 panels linked. Was it? So this was in Hampton Court last year, and I charged 50% in just under 2 hours, which in solar in the UK is pretty good.
That's pretty good. And it's, you showed me the app as well, which tells you the power going in, the power coming out, the charging, the status, and the difference between walking in front of the actual solar panel, if you like, was dramatic.
I think when I walked in front of the solar panel, I blocked out
how effective that is. Yeah,
it might be diet time. So we did just us walking in front of the panel. You could see live on the screen, couldn't you? You could see exactly how much watts was going in there.
Yeah,
it's very sensitive. It's incredibly accurate, constant information. So with the BattPaks in particular, the features that really make it stand out from everything else is it's the world's only commercial industrial battery power source. Because we build construction equipment, because we build for these environments, it would be silly of us to build it for the domestic leisure market, which is what the majority of these battery packs are built for. It's an 11-year system on the small pack. It's 4,000 cycles guaranteed. You've got a 5-year warranty on it. Your return on investment's there. Steel-bodied, carbon fiber shielded. We put fan cooling technology into our battery packs. Nobody else has that.
Yeah.
You can get them wet. You can get them beyond wet. You can submerge them.
I've seen the video. It's submerged.
For a short time, there is IP67. So IP67 means that it's already been tested and it still works and is safe. A meter underwater for half an hour. We wouldn't recommend that you do that, but if there were to be an accident, then your battery pack is safe. So slurry on site and dust and people knocking them about, it's a safe product. The traceability on your phone, the remote working on it, that gives it an element of safety and security. Of course, anything that's an attractive thing on site, magpies can take them. That's unavoidable because it can be secured. But what's really nice is that you can be working on another part of the site and you can see, I've still got an hour and a half of that running, whatever it's running. I know what power's coming out, what power's going in. So you've got full control over it like that. So that's basically where we've developed our battery generators for construction, for heavy use, for the rental market. You need that return on investment. You need it to last. You need to know it's going to have a 5-year warranty on it. You need to know it's got diagnostics in there which can tell you exactly what's going on with the cell health. We can plug into the front of there with a laptop. We can tell you how many charges it's had and how long you're charging it for. So we can look after it. Cells can be rebalanced. We can actually remotely log on to your BattPak. So you contact us and you say something's off. We can we'll say connect it to the Wi-Fi. We'll connect onto here and we can remotely rebalance the cells for you and check it all over there. So there's a lot you can do remotely with these now. They're very clever bits of kit.
Are you mentioned in the film industry?
So yeah, early adopters. There was a big, not an industry I was familiar with. One of our distributors did a very good job. That is their world, and they supply very big companies, film, TV companies, domestic and international, there is, it turns out, a high demand for a reliable power source, which is portable, weatherproof, whether it's a nature documentary or a film set or anything like that. They run silently.
Low noise, yeah.
So 3 decibel according to a sound man.
Yeah.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
But they've been on some big shoots.
Yeah.
So that was an early adopter. Then you've got catering. You know, we're supplying a lot to these guys. You've got rail, take quite a lot of them, because what they really like on our packs is that they can either run low power for a long time, or they can do short bursts of high power. What do you want it to do? And it'll balance itself. So we were given the task of lighting 30 meters of rail track. And they said, we'd really like you to get to 20 hours of lighting this, if possible. 27 hours into the test, we turned it off. We'd all seen enough. So the packs are very good at slow draw, because the technology from the cells, certainly the lithium iron phosphate ones and the early ones, the technology comes from home energy storage, because what you don't want to do is charge it up, go back to it a week later and it's empty. They are designed to hold their charge. I think they lose something like 2% over 6 months. You know, the other early adopters are to rescue services, military applications as well, because of its toughness, its weatherproofness. So those are the sort of industries that took it on pretty quickly. They've got pure sine wave inverters in them, so the energy that comes out of them is cleaner than what comes out of your socket. So for sensitive equipment, wonderful. So there are medical applications. Lots and lots of early adopters. Yeah. Construction is a conservative industry, always has been, but we're seeing construction companies take them for special applications. So we had, you know, one of the things, the packs are very clever. The inverters are very, very, you can do a lot with them. So with the bigger packs, you can assign each one a phase. So you get 3 packs, or phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And we did complete a challenge for, I think it was the Welsh Water Board, essentially. It was a hydroelectric reservoir in Wales. They had a lot of trouble getting, they have to, every 6 years, they have to check the sensors on the concrete strength. And it's a project normally takes them weeks. They managed to complete it in days with our equipment, because they couldn't get earthing cables in and they couldn't have emissions there. They could just wheel our battery packs in there, do the job, wheel them back out again. If they needed to top up charge them in the car park on the true charger, they could. So special applications like that we're doing a lot with.
Brilliant.
And then the future for that is, as I sort of mentioned to you guys earlier, is we'll start to implement these more and more into floor saws and things like this, because the way we look at it is you will have these type 2 chargers everywhere. It would be nice to be able to top up charge your batteries from wherever you are. So imagine wheeling your floor saw into the BP4 car, topping it up and off you go again. You've got that option there. And with cars, which you've shown, with nickel manganese cobalt, with those cell technology, you have got the range, you have got the runtime, you have got the power that you can take. So that's where we're looking at next, as fossil fuels are, if not phased out, but are certainly giving people a reasonable option.
There's going to be a balance, isn't there?
Oh, 100%.
You're not going to kill fossil fuels
No.
in the short to medium term. So there's going to be battery and fossil fuels sitting side by side.
Well, 100%. And it gives people that option where, if you're working indoors, you're working underground, you're working on these, you need an emission-free solution. If you're working outside, it's another option. Maybe diesel's always going to be your best option on a very high-powered floor saw for the motorway work, because of the nature of it, how it works. We can just give people another option. It's a little bit like some of our floor saws. We come at things from a different angle. So we'll make you a machine which has got a meter blade on it that can run off electrics that you can drive into the back of a van. We can do lots and lots of every possible size of floor saw or table saw, whether you're a shop fitter or whether you're doing basement work in London or anything like that. Emissions is an issue, and that's why we think batteries even more helpful for people than the 3-phase power, which they don't always have access to.
What about recycling of the nickel and manganese battery products?
98%.
98%.
So I'm told. I've not had to recycle one yet, but that's what the documents tell me.
Yeah.
I think the carbon fibre is recyclable. I think the steel is recyclable, but the cells themselves, I think, is 98%.
Oh, very good.
So if I was to sort of sum up Golz, you're a diamond manufacturer of blades,
machine manufacturer,
drilling, cutting, battery technology. Pretty much
slurry recycling.
Many.
So we're a mix of innovation. We're a mix of innovation, solution products, and your bread and butter. But it's really, the key is implementing the build quality, design tech and durability from that kind of innovative stuff and put it into the bread and butter stuff that you're going to have in your hand on a daily basis. We don't build to a price point, we build to a quality point, and then we work out our way to get that to you at a price point. It's the right way to look at it, to be honest with you, because that way, as you can see, you saw our service area down there, you can see how many machines are down there. You know, we've been selling, you know, there's hundreds and hundreds of bits of equipment across the UK, various places. You don't see it very often, which is nice.
Yeah, very good.
So if there was a takeaway for our listeners of our podcast today, what takeaway could you give our listeners today? Right.
We're another brand. We're another name. We can give you another solution. We can give you what people really need, which is good, solid service support and some actual margin. You know, we can put high quality products in at a good price that you can rent again and again and again. And given our technical service background, given the way that we view the world, and we've done this with big companies like Juice and people like this, we are more than prepared to come out and give free of charge toolbox talks. We'll send an engineer with your workshop and make sure they're au fait with all the products. We're a very open company. If you want to come see us, we'll come talk to the guys downstairs. If you want to come to us with a solution, say I need a machine to do this, whether it's a table saw which has got a vacuum on it so you can dry cut, or whatever it is you need to do, we'll probably make it. But in terms of your table saw for your porcelain and things like that, and the floor saws and things like that, we're certainly very market ready.
Yeah, I think, you know, for our listeners, they're hire people. I think coming here to see what you've got here, the facility is good. Seeing the guys hands on building those cores today,
it's very impressive. Yeah,
very impressive.
It's in some ways low engineering, but it's low engineering, high skill, and we produce in every particular way. So we've got automated laser welder machines that will do all sorts of weird, wonderful things. You can't beat a guy. You can't beat a skilled guy, and that's nice to know in this day and age. It's nice to know. Yeah.
Right, Frank. Bit of fun stuff. To close. Okay, if you had to teach a class tomorrow, what would it be on?
I do think it probably would be crisis management and being flexible, rolling with it. That's the industry we're all in. It's a just-in-time industry. Wonderful things happen 1 minute,
and the phone rings.
Other things happen another minute. Yeah. And if I had to teach mindfulness, which I know is a very modern word, just taking a breath. It's a crisis, but in 5 minutes we'll have solved it. And then maybe I'll teach that. Just to take a step back and it's going to be okay.
Very good.
And finally, who would play you in a movie?
Probably the silverhead Steve Martin, I think. Yeah, that's probably
yeah, we can see that.
Yeah, we can see.
Brilliant. Frank,
thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks to our listeners.
Yeah, thanks for the hospitality as well. Thanks for
Cheers.
Thanks so much.
Cheers.
Yeah. Thanks, Frank.